What if the grid is down? What if this news scare of a pandemic starts to create widespread mob mentality panic? That's why I'm reading what's going on with the shopping and the sprees, and I'm not sure if those stories are about real panic or if they're just trying to induce real panic because it gets more ratings. And you're gonna have to make those decisions for yourself. Right? I would also recommend, once you have an understanding of camp hygiene and hygiene protocols, so you have a sleeping area, at minimum of 50 yards away, you have your food prep area, and if you can make it a triangle, that's great. If not, then you're just gonna have to use that contour line along that ridge or that drainage or whatever you're gonna do to pick each site, but 50-yard separation between each, right? So you have your food prep, your sleep area, and your latrine. Wash stations at the latrine and at the food prep area, right? Don't put any food near your sleeping areas. It's not about the big black bear, it's about the rat nibbling on your lips and contaminating everything with its feces and urine. So, when you're preparing food, cook all meat well done. Make sure that you boil everything to sanitize it. It doesn't get sanitized unless it's boiled. And that includes foods. You know, if you're going to boil water to purify it, why don't you throw some red squirrel in there and some wild leeks? Do what you can to have a stew. Noodles, by the way, have a great shelf life, but poor nutrition value. So think more along the lines of beans. And if you can get wild or wild type rice, empty calories are better than nothing, though. So don't discount what you already have. Many families, myself included, have boxes of pasta in one form or another, right? So there's your main staple maybe in hard times. It's easy to prepare. You could do it over a campfire. You don't need electricity. Think about that. No electricity means no heat, no light. What are you going to do to substitute? Do you have oil lamps or propane? Be careful of ventilation. There's so many things going on with each of those fuels. In the old days, it was candles, and candles were responsible for burning down countless homes and taking countless lives. An open flame to an untrained family is a dangerous thing, but so is kerosene. If you knock over that glass lamp with a little reflector on the back, well, you have a flame and you have fuel and you have glass. That would get exciting. So people during the ice storm of '98 killed themselves by putting generators in their house, not thinking about ventilation. So you got to think smart and think long term. Don't think short term. It's not about what we're going to eat today or this week. It's how we're going to navigate through this season, this cold spell, this rainstorm, this economic or social situation that may make some significant changes in one's day-to-day behaviors and approach to fulfilling their needs. At the end of the day, you're responsible for your safety so that you can provide for the safety of the people you love. And if you put all of that out on the table and remove the fear so it doesn't come from a place of panic, it's almost like, well, it's problem solving. Add a little bit of creative flair into being proactive. It's okay to have fun planning for the big storm. As kids, we were all excited about the impending doom. It brings us closer to the sacredness of life, and I think we lost track of that for a while. So maybe this is one of those natural course corrections for the way energy should flow through these systems. But however it's going to go down, your example, your proactive mindset, your being prepared and making behavior changes to better your own sense of security is going to positively affect your neighbors and the people that you interact with. People are looking almost with this panicked kind of uncertainty around and getting fed false stories and exaggerated stories and stories based on hooking you with fear so you have to return to the next news cycle. Look beyond that. You're smarter than that. What are you doing? What is your action plan based on your long-term process? I'm not going to say goals. Everyone has a goal to get through it, whatever it may be. In this case, it's a virus. That might change. The news cycle next week will be something else. We don't know. Or it may not change. We just don't know. And that's the thing. Nobody knows. So do something about it that will set your mind at ease so you can continue to be a good parent / brother / sister / daughter of or son of to your family and your community, because they need you. They need your gifts, and they need your whole being, not coming from a place of fear, doom, and gloom, but from a place of, okay, if this threat is indeed a threat that could elicit these fears, let's roll up our sleeves and do something about it. Let's pick a high ground that's well drained and maybe sport some oaks and beach to decide where we're going to put our shelter, our summer camping spot. We don't want to spread fear, so we're going to make the best of it. We're going to have fun designing the most efficient place that is safe from fire hazards and hazards like widowmakers, and is built solid enough with a safe enough fire system or heating system. You may opt to just get hot rocks and hot water bottles and use them accordingly and not have a fire in that shelter. It doesn't have to be landscape designed. I'm not a purist anymore with my primitive skills. Metal cups and string go a long way. You don't forget how to use a lighter when you make a bow drill set, but by the same token, I have at least 2 lighters on me at all times. What are your life-sustaining systems? Whenever those kind of senses of panic and foreboding come up, let them be the firewood to your problem-solving brain so that you can eagerly get motivated to take care of attitude, primary, shelter, most important physical skill set, but actually secondary, water, collection, storage, and purification, fire, which in our modern terminology is heat and light, right? So oil furnace, hope you have a wood stove backup, right? Do you have a backup for your heat so your pipes don't freeze? Most Mainers do, right? What other sources of warmth if your backup fails? Do you have wood stored? Do you have a place with a little chimenea or fire pit? Because that's how you boil your water to purify it. You're going to need fire. And then food. Food's at the bottom of the list. You have 4 critical days of easily available calories before you start to lose energy, and lethargy becomes a real factor in your performance with regard to supplying your daily needs: attitude, shelter, water, fire, food, and to supply them without getting injured, right? Because dehydration and hunger and hypothermia all do the same thing. In fact, any dis-ease does this. It makes us go in. We shut down our antenna array. We lose empathy and awareness, and we just start going inside and delving within our own personal systems, which is detrimental. Lack of awareness in nature, because it's so subtle, is the quickest route to starvation. And we have winters in Maine. Put that on your list to plan for. And winters are long and cold. I guess my synopsis is simple. Don't feed the fire of fear. And to do that, start building your foundation from a place of strength and forethought and intuition. Read the landscape as deeply as you can. Mark those things that come up as disturbing or useful or, ooh, that could mean, but don't feed it. Treat it just like you would a venomous snake in the trail. Acknowledge it, learn as much as you can about it, and adjust your behaviors to accommodate the reality that it's there. Best of luck, folks. See you on the other side.